Aloha, my kako. This is Oracle of the Golden Spiral. Today we are going to be doing for read for Lionsgate. This is the new moon in Leo. Generally, with these videos, I pick up on energies to help you determine, basically, if you haven't set intentions already for new moon, or you know what we're releasing for the full moon. Generally, that's the energy I try to pick up on. This time, we're just going to be taking a look at your energy for Lionsgate and see what is the dominant energy for you right now. Because we're in Leo season, energies are running high, and depending on your personal astrology, that will affect you differently. But I'm going to be reading for sun signs for Lionsgate, August 8th. Okay, I'm going to shuffle. And we will start with Leo, since it is Leo season. Oh, sorry, Leo. Okay, so you have number 59, the Bodacious Bodak, and number 44, Lease of the Shadows. So, the Bodacious Bodak talks about helpful fixing. So, sabotage, you know, but innocent sabotage, I think, is the case, because it's unhelpful energy. However, it comes from a place of trying to help or to fix or to assist. This is an indication of a direct stop. Something needs to be stopped immediately. And Lease of the Shadows is kind of a protector of those who are abused by those who should have protected them. So, I think there's some really heavy energy for Leos right now. I think everyone has been saying, you know, we're the... how does it... Basically that, like, we're the stars of the show right now, but I think that a lot of Leos are moving into this new year. You know, it's our solar return, plus we're going through this intense energy, and let's be fair. We've been having quite a difficult time since about December of last year. So I think right now, it's really about, I think this is not new news. I think we've been grappling with these demons for the past, I don't know, a couple months or so, maybe even longer. And it feels like we're just about to be at a breaking point, but we're not quite there yet. It feels like so close sometimes that we could touch it, and yet it just seems to disintegrate or to vanish into thin air. Like Coming to America, you know. Oh, is it Coming to America, or is it... Oh my goodness. Maybe it's Dancing with Wolves. Okay, I'm dating myself. But something about vanishing like a fart in the wind. So, just, I think we've been grappling with these dark and oppressive energies, and I think that we are just about, it's like I can feel it this time, that we're just about to break into something new. I think we got a taste of it last month, you know, with some incredible sun energy, even in the depths of Cancer season, but I think that it's still, you know, that true breakthrough, that true release has really eluded us. So it looks like this might be the point where we move on to a breakthrough, where we identify those things that we think are helping but are in fact not helping and are just band-aids to the real darkness that we've been trying to prick and shine our light through. If there have been any type of power struggles that you feel that are occurring despite your willingness to help, your willingness to give to others, to support others, I think we're realizing that it isn't the type of help that's needed. And I think last time we were talking about pouring our energy back into ourselves. So take what you will from that, you know, as far as intention setting, if you haven't done that already. Let's get a little bit more. I feel like some people we've intended to help, maybe because of the darkness they're going through, don't see it and don't have the same vision that we have. And so it's not being received the same way it's intended. Let's see. Oh, and everything wants to jump out. So let's do, oh, here we go. So we do have Sylvanius, number 34. And this is about mirrors in the world. Maybe this is our own darkness that we've been in. Maybe the band-aid we've been applying is to ourselves. Maybe we've been letting the world tell us what the story is when we ourselves know what the story is. Maybe we've been hearing impressive and wise wisdom around us, and so we've tried to reflect on ourselves with that filter, and maybe it has nothing to do with the root of it. Maybe it's about grasping our own truth. We know what has happened. We know what we're dealing with. And maybe the answers don't, I'm never saying don't have growth mindset. Everyone should have growth mindset and take in what they can from the surrounding. But I think that this surrounding right now is, it sounds comparable, but it's like bestowing falsities on us. But we're now maybe in this time, while everyone else may be energized, I don't know about you, but I've been a little bit more like more of a recluse than I've ever been. And maybe it's because that is the universe's way of asking us to take in that information, glean what we can from it, but ultimately that this right here is saying that the truth is in our own clarity. We understand, you know, weeding out the BS, like we in ourselves know what that truth is. Huh. Well, looks like this energy is going to be real and slightly harsh. So, Leo, while it wasn't the, you know, prettiest message, perhaps that showed, if you're resonating with this, it's shown some light on really what we've been dealing with this past, probably, you know, 6 to 8 months. And I hope that you get something from that message. Okay? Moving on to Virgo. What are the energies for Virgo for this new moon in Leo, please? What are the energies for Virgo in this new moon in Leo, please? Oh my goodness, what did I just do? Okay, well, so you have number 38, Lace the Moon's Daughter, and number 45, Titan the Sylph. Let's see. It feels like, Virgo, you've had dreams, whether daydreams or dreams. You know, generally this talks about night dreams. But it's very, like, I'm not sure if it's night dreams or like darkness-esque, right? So it's pretty much talks about mysteries unfolding, symbolic dreams, and riddles that, although happen in the night or darkness, that we focus on or think about during the waking hours. But it's almost as if you are able to pull a truth from that. Like you're given a gift of discernment that helps you to really understand and utilize the information that previously seemed convoluted or mysterious, or that you couldn't quite get your hands on. Maybe something that's been occupying your mind, that started in a dreamlike state, or something that has been, you know, that you find yourself slipping into during the days because of the enigma of it all. Maybe this Lionsgate is giving you that glimpse into how the puzzle pieces fit for you. the ability to discern more than you were previously, or at least to start that adventure, right? Maybe I get this distinct feeling just because the nature of these two cards that maybe you'll be given, I'm sorry I'm laughing, and I'll share with you why in a second, but maybe you've been given like the first nugget, the first piece, the first clue. So when my son was about 5 years old and he started writing really well, he wanted to make an adventure for me. I'm sorry I'm laughing so hard, but it was really cute. If any of you know me personally, you can go to my Facebook and check this out. He left me a note in the bathroom that said the next clue was under something. And that was so vague. And so, I mean, literally could have been anywhere. And so if that's how the rest of, I made a joke as to if that's how the rest of the clues were going to go, this was going to be one long scavenger hunt. And so maybe that's coming up for a reason. Maybe you were provided an original clue, but until, you know, until now, it was just so broad and so, I mean, the possibilities were endless. And so you weren't really able to put your finger on where that next clue was. And I think that during this time period, you probably will be able to, whatever this is, I mean, this is really very ethereal and esoteric right now, but whatever this, if this is resonating with you in any way, whatever this situation is, I think that you're gonna be able to get that next clue pretty soon. That it'll be a lot more clear, probably than anything you've been able to discern prior to this time period. I do get this distinct feeling that from, you know, that there's something to do with treasure from a disaster, right? Like maybe it has something to do with what is, every disaster comes with a moment of grace, right? It's what we talk about when we talk about silver linings and like, so every grace is when we're able to see something in a way that we've never seen it before. And so I really think that if you're resonating with this, it has something to do with finding the treasure from the disaster. And that may be your first clue. Okay? Thank you, Virgo. Thank you for spending this time with me. I wish you the best on this new moon in Leo and the best for Lionsgate. Let's move on to Libra. What do we have for Libra? Oh. Libra, new moon in Leo, Lionsgate energy, please. What is the energy for Libra for the new moon in Lionsgate? Libra energy, please. Okay. Okay, we have Lascuna, number 39. And we have the Fawn, 35. So this may be pulling in. So this is exactly the energy I was just speaking about, as far as like, you know, treasures from disaster or triumph from disaster. So Libra, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get too into it because it's bleeding in from the last one. So this is number 35, the Fawn, and this is about being in flow. So I think that you are actually in this time period being able to take a step forward. You are moved and motivated to understand where you've been and to move in back into the flow of the universe. It feels like it's been a while since you've been in flow, but it's almost as if the first taste of it leads you to all the right motions to go ahead and to get yourself back into flow. Let's see. There's like I'm getting a feeling of, you know, spontaneity and like you've understood where you were. So it's just about jumping and leaping into that new space. If you're feeling any reticence, I feel like that first moment, that first taste of flow that you feel, it's almost as if it's like riding a bike, right? Like it's almost as if that moment you feel that balance, you're going to be able to know all the next moves to get you back into that energy, all the right things to say, the next right action, the next right thought, the next right everything to pull yourself back into flow. And even though it's been quite some time, perhaps, since you felt like you've been in it, that analogy of remembering how to ride a bike really fits this energy that I'm feeling for you right now, Libra. This is such a smooth and gentle energy and such a stabilizing energy, but it's almost as if because of, you know, this is like grounding and self-healing, but I almost feel like a synapsis between the two of this, where it almost takes a impulsivity to like make that first jump or to make that first leap. But I don't think that you should worry. I think that you'll know when that, like the feeling I get is that you'll know when that moment is, and to trust yourself, knowing that you'll be able to recognize it and to respond accordingly. Okay, Libra, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy, and I wish you all the best in the new moon in Leo and for Lionsgate. Next, we'll move to Scorpio. I'm just gonna fix this real quick. Oh. What? Oh. Scorpio, what's going on? Okay, let's get you a little bit of maybe something destabilizing, uncensoring has happened lately. And let's get a little bit of Palo Santo going, and then let's try again for your energy. Okay, Scorpio. That smells so good. Okay. see. Let's try again. Scorpio. It just keeps wanting to go. Okay, well, we'll just let it do what it wants to do. Scorpio. Full moon in Leo, please. What is the energy for Scorpio? Full moon in Leo. I have this thing in my work where when it's not going so well, we stick it in, or when the discussion moves into like incredible lengths of time or devolves, we put it in what I call the parking lot, and we come back to it later, and there it is. Oh my goodness, Scorpio. You can't make this stuff up. Okay. So we talked a little bit before. If you're fast forwarding, then you didn't hear it, but Lease of the Shadows really has a lot to do with it's one of the most challenging cards here, and it's because she's the protector of those who've been abused by people who should have loved them. It feels like, Scorpio, that you're going through an incredible, I think with all of the energy that's moving right now, that you've been through something quite traumatic in the past few months, and that all of that is balling up into this incredible and intense energy. So this is number 52, the RAR, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So in a positive way, it can be like ticker energy, and that's what they talk about in the book, but really, to me, it's kind of like the energetic atom bomb. So we, Scorpio, have the ability to look at that in a positive. We have the ability to utilize this power. This power has to go somewhere. The more it gets contained, the greater the risk of the Tower, right? In the tarot, the greater the risk of damage. So, but we always have the ability to decide whether we're going to utilize this energy for powerful, creative things or for destruction. And it seems like because of a challenge, and it's far more than a challenge, please, if this is resonating with you, don't think that I'm trying to diminish it with just, oh, it was a challenge. This is a very intense challenge, a very dark, if I pulled more cards, the Soul Shrinker would probably come out. This is something that the feeling that I'm getting is that this is someone who you allowed the ability to now, don't get me wrong, I'm like a zero-line Scorpio rising, so I understand, impermanence, all of those things. And especially if a Scorpio has let you into that inner world and you decide to take advantage of it and manipulate it and destroy it. The reason they let you in was because they found some value in you, some intense reason to stray from everything that their general take on things, to incorporate you, and for you to take advantage of that. It's no wonder, and not you, Scorpio, but that other person, for someone to have taken advantage of that, it's no wonder that we're dealing with this energy right here, right? Intuitively, I'm getting that it's like a silent soaring, and no action has happened yet, because although it's moving at incredible speed, it's like you're keeping it at bay. So let's get a card. I think you have your own internal wisdom and internal stability to be able to transmute this into something beneficial. Like right now, like there is no, don't, like I said before, don't let me diminish. Don't think that I am trying to diminish anything that this represents right here, right? That betrayal. But I really think that your wisdom, let's see what comes out. I really think that your experience in life and your wisdom and your ability to be grounded and to have, and the knowledge that you have tells you that, you know, being pissed off for greatness, having that as your motivator is really going to allow you to build something for yourself versus destroying someone else, right? Let's see. I shuffle and then I take from the middle. I really want them to pick it, but let's see if I can be guided. I have the hardest time with this one. Luathas the Wild. So this is about impulsivity. Number 57. This is about spontaneity. Look for the way that you can build something. Look for an opportunity, something that just pops out of nowhere. Maybe it's a thought. Maybe it's somebody else coming to you, and while you don't want to be dealing with anything that other people have to say or do because you're still trying to deal with the betrayal of this, maybe it's just that instant spark of creativity. Somewhat, I know he doesn't look very muse-like, but like somewhat muse-like, that allows you to build. I would guard against, you know, because you will be presented with the opportunity to, how do I put this? For that opportunity to win over this person. But I think you need to decide if you too are this person, or if you're gonna use this, like I said earlier, to be pissed off for greatness and show them how much more you can be. That's fine that, you know, that person was just absolutely awful. But how do you show them that not only are you better, but that you can accomplish everything, anything that you can dream of, all by yourself, with none of their help. Yeah? Okay. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. I wish you all the best. And, you know, this is a lot of energy during this Lionsgate. I wish we can be in that, you know, new moon is a lot darker than full moon, but it's about building, not destroying. So I wish you all the best. Now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. What do we have for Sagittarius? For the new moon in Leo, Sagittarius, Lionsgate energy, please. What do we have for Sagittarius? Okay, Sagittarius, we have number 49, Mikkel a Muckle, and number 64, Gotcha. Okay, so right now is a time for you to listen. It is a time for you to listen to what your heart is telling you. Reflecting back on, it's like the Fool and the Six of Cups and the, this type of energy. Something where we approach things from a more childlike vantage point, where we're able to have that presence and lightness of heart to laugh and to approach things with a lightened spirit, with a childlike heart. It's because we've experienced somewhat of a breakdown. But through the breakdown is when the breakthrough comes, right? I was talking to a friend about this yesterday. I'm not going to go into Erin's amazing stories from her growing up. But we talked about how sometimes it's like a psychological need to laugh when the intensity or the pain of something is just too great. How we have weird expression instead of, being able to cry it out, we laugh about it. But I think that the universe is presenting something even more beautiful to you than just that, that somewhat, I was talking about how, the worst news that could possibly come to me came to me, and how I laughed maniacally. And for years after that, I felt like such an incredibly horrible human being, because it seemed so inappropriate in that moment. And yet in studying, not a lot, but a little bit about psychology, it's about that. It's about that intense pressure that requires release, and that, sometimes when you're generous of spirit, or when you need that hope, that's how it presents itself, versus how we and society normally think about releasing in moments of pure grief. Anyway, I feel like that's coming up for a reason, but also this is speaking of that epiphany, that gift of grace. Grace is one of my favorite things to talk about. So if you've been watching this whole thing, you'll be hearing it kind of a lot. But grace is that moment where we see things in a whole new way, where it allows us to see things in a whole new way, and we're never the same. And so it's like almost being able to have that moment of grace and to approach things now with that, to feel okay with that, and to I guess be able to feel that lightening of your spirit even when we're going through something like, you know, having a breakdown, to be able to see it. It really does help us move forward. And what I was talking about earlier, just in the spirit of hope, in the ability to see, in the ability to appreciate being able to see things in that whole new way. Or just even being appreciative of that release, and being able to, you know, release the energy or to move on. Let's get one more for this. You've been in a tough spot. It's like that energy is changing for you. Yeah. Okay. So this is the Glen Conner, number 62. And it's really about, well, first of all, it's about lust and delusion, but projection and all those wonderful things. I'm being sarcastic in case you can't tell. But really what it is that we've been projecting that onto ourselves, right? Like the only person we have been fooling is ourselves. And so I think this, now that this is making, it kind of gives it a bigger depth, right? Like more depth to this situation, is that we've had to kind of come clean with perhaps a contrived world or space that we've been living in, and really coming back to the truth of the matter. And that breakdown can be intense, but going ahead and being able to kind of laugh through it, and once realizing it, being able to let go of the heaviness that all of this was, and moving into a lighter, more hopeful, you know, I get the feeling of like that feeling of liftoff when you're just about to fly. Not that I've ever flown. I mean, I've flown on planes, but like personally, not a bird. But you know, in your dreams, that if anyone's had flying dreams, you know that you like push down on the ground, and that feeling as you're like lifting up, that light, that airiness, that lightness. That's the sense that I'm getting from this. And I'm really glad that you're being able to face those things and move into that energy. Okay. Thank you, Sagittarius. I appreciate you sharing your energy during this new moon in Leo and Lion's Gate. And I know that it's going to be very beneficial for you moving forward. Thank you so much. Moving on to Capricorn. What do we have for Capricorn? What do we have for Capricorn for this new moon in Leo and Lion's Gate? Capricorn's energy, please. Okay, Capricorn. You have Tom the Poet, number 29, and The Fairy Who Was Kissed by the Pixies, number 21. Okay. There's like, this is a little bit ethereal for a Capricorn reading. It feels like maybe you guys are having the best energy of all so far in this Leo new moon, which is weird because you're, you know, the opposite side of you is Cancer, and you know, I would think that you would feel more comfortable in this Cancer energy, but for some reason, fire is starting some type of regeneration for you. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, Capricorn. My AirPod died. Okay, so this is really about, it's like a song, right? Finding the right words. That's what poets do. They're able to put feeling and energy into poetry that engenders and creates different feelings in people by the use of words and by the use of rhyme and rhythm, right? Sometimes not so much rhyme, definitely always rhythm. So, and this really is centered on love therapy. So there is either someone that you are engaged with, someone that you're trying to help heal, someone who, regardless of whether they're your mom, sister, brother, friend, classmate, coworker, or love interest, that you are trying to help through a difficult time. You are utilizing your connection with the universe and your understanding of this person or these people to go ahead and to alleviate pain or be of general help in a situation. It's coming from a pure place. But it does have a slight hint of sacrifice in it. Sacrifice of part of you for another's gain. But it doesn't feel like a sacrifice because there's a purity in it that, how do I put this? How to explain what I'm feeling? It's like, I'm not getting like the general eroticism of this card. What I'm getting is this incredible unconditional love. Like, there is sacrifice in this, but it doesn't matter, because if the end result is someone being able to feel as if they're surrounded with support and caring, that ultimately feeds back into you. Yeah, that is what I'm getting. feels like them feeling valued and supported. Ultimately is a gain for you. I'm getting a very strange energy now. Of maybe, okay, if you're resonating with that, that's the message for you. You may or may not want to go further with me on this. What I am getting a little bit is that a little bit of this is coming out now. A little bit of the mischief and the eroticism and finding just the right word. And that, you know, the very underlying manipulation that comes with that. And I don't think you're doing it for a bad reason. I think that you're doing it for a good reason. But there is an underlying sense of this person that you are doing this for may not have always been the best person to you. I'm getting it because the trees are made out of hiding elves. There's some in plain sight, there's some not. There's and then the general sense of this card, which I wasn't necessarily getting earlier, but I do feel like it almost gives you great pleasure in the fact that although, despite the fact that they were not the best person to you, that you still have the ability to greet them with a kindness that you weren't afforded. And it's almost like that is the true payoff, that is the poetic justice, that is the rhyme and reason that allows you to deal with what has happened before and to move into a higher realm. Unjustified grace, and yet grace nonetheless. Okay, thank you so much, Capricorn. Thank you for sharing your energy on this new moon in Leo, and for Lionsgate, I am wishing you all the best. Moving on to Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius for this new moon in Leo? And Lionsgate of 8-8. Aquarius energy, please. What is the energy of Aquarius, please, during this time? Oh, goodness. Wow, okay. We have himself, 17, and LB the Retriever, number 41. So this is about being loyal to your dreams. And putting everything, all energy, everything that you have, all manifestation, all personal energy, I guess everything can be summed up by energy, but yeah, putting all of your effort and energy into that. It's about being your dreams, about knowing what those are with clarity and absolutely approaching things with that outcome in mind. It doesn't matter what stands in the way of it. Your outcome in this sense, and it'll be different for all of you, whatever that personal dream is, will be accomplished. I think if you're resonating with this, you already know what that is, and you've already started that, and this is just confirmation of that. You're an Aquarius, so I don't think that you're going to hurt people to get that. I think that you have the ability to I don't want to use the word deal, but I guess that is the word that's coming out, to deal with that which stands in your way with kindness and with understanding. But ultimately, if someone or something or some situation cannot get on board with what it is that you have determined this dream is, what am I trying to say? Nothing that stands in that way will be like, muscled out of the way, but also it won't be allowed to stay. This is probably, if you're resonating with this, you already know what it is. But if there are a few of you that don't know, it's something that you let go of a long time ago. Something that, Aquarius, you are a great spirit in that we are always thinking towards community or right, there's like a what's the word, a very it'll come to me, but you deal a lot with forward thinking and moving into the future, but all around the sense of community and give back. And so maybe you've been doing that for a really, really long time, that you have lost part of what your personal dream was. I really do think this is a personal dream, right? This little pearl that's just for you, that comes from your knowing, from you. It's for you. And we may have it's from your heart, and it's for your satisfaction. And we may have been caring so much about what is going on in the rest of the world and with, in other areas that we are fighting battles for advancement and the collective. But this is something that you really want, that you believe in, something that will really speak to you, and it's almost like, for me, it's like relearning or re-understanding a fundamental principle of how you want to proceed with your life and how you are comfortable showing up in the world. And anything that doesn't resonate with that, because we are on a mission to gain this or accomplish this or live in this truth, like I said before, we'll just kindly have to go. it's like I want to say it's between you and whatever higher power you subscribe to. It's between you and God, or you and the universe, or you and spirit, whatever it is that you, whatever higher power is yours. Okay, Aquarius, that's what I have for you for this new moon in Leo and Lion's Gate. I wish you all the best. Moving on to Pisces. What do we have for Pisces, please? What do we have for Pisces in his moon in Leo? What is Pisces energy for Lion's Gate? Okay. Wow. Are we sure this isn't the fish gate? You have number 1, Unity, and a Penelope Dreamweaver, number 28. Okay. Pisces, I believe you're going to be hit with just an absolute epiphany. Something that brings you closer to source, or like I was telling to Aquarius, whatever higher power that you subscribe to, it's about working in tandem. It's about, I always say that this is like vast energies looking for a place to happen, and it just happens to have the spark of life with you. It's coming from a random moment of inspiration, just some glimmer that peeks out from the normal of your everyday life. That tiny seed, one of many things that happen, that tiny seed that blossoms into you co-creating with the universe and building something that you probably never dreamed would happen. I know about 6 months ago, Pisces was, laying seeds on the foundation for what's going to be being able to be accomplished over this next 2 years. Like, you may not see that come to fruition until about 1.5 years from now or whatever. But I think that if you have not yet had that spark, or you're not actively working on something, you will have it now. And it's going to be bigger. Whatever ends up coming from that will be bigger than anything you've ever imagined or dreamed before. And for it to come, I think this is going to be a story you tell for the ages, because for it to come from such a tiny little random everyday thing, for that spark to come from just something you may have seen 1,000 times over. It's almost as if you have the number 2 card as well, which it talks about, muse. This together feels like muse. This feels like muse that is carried off into a higher realm, which, where you're co-creating, where it has chosen you, and it takes what the gifts you have, but that you feel as if it was given to you, that you're so lucky and it was given to you by something far greater than you. So I'll give an example. Thank goodness I am not Oh, sorry, Billy Joel. But thank goodness I'm not old enough to like have like rocked out to Billy Joel's music. But I did see an interview with him once when I hardly knew who this man was. But he was talking about how songs would come to him in his dreams. And that is what is the song called? I can hear the tune. I don't know, but the words go, in the rhythm of the night, I go walking in my dreams to the something, to a river so deep. Something, I've been searching for something deep in my soul. But the river is wide and too hard to cross. And even though I go walking at night, I get the feeling that I don't want to walk anymore. I try to cross to the opposite side so I can finally find what I've been looking for. And then it starts all over. In the rhythm of the night, I go walking in my dreams. And like, I don't know, I just remember this interview about that's how music comes to him. He would wake up in the morning and write down the words to the song and the music of the song. And he always felt like he wasn't writing any of it, that it was just being given to him. And for some strange reason, I didn't even remember I knew that, but that's what's coming up for me. It's gonna feel like it's been given to you as a gift to manifest. But I think the important part to remember is that you saw the spark, and the reason you saw it was because you are the exact right one to create it. It takes something that you have to be able to execute it in the way that it's going to be executed. How beautiful. Can I be a Pisces today? Because Leo's reading was rough. All right, Pisces, thank you for your time, and I appreciate you sharing your energy. I'm sure everyone should watch the Pisces reading, and they should share that, and you should share that energy with everyone during this Lionsgate. All right, let's give that energy to everyone here. Moving on to Aries. What do we have for Aries, please, during this Lionsgate? Aries, please, for the new moon in Leo and Lionsgate. What is Aries energy, please? Okay, you have Sylvanius, number 34, and the Maiden, number 14. Okay, Aries. There's a sense that you need to see your true reflection and not the reflection of others around you to be able to bring hope and beginnings to you and those around you. Only when you're able to see the falsities that have been placed upon you, only when you have that clarity are you going to be able to experience pure joy and to bring pure joy to those around you. I'm going to use another card because that, quite honestly, Aries, was like very straightforward. I mean, there's not much to extrapolate on that. Maybe the message is supposed to be simple so that you can get straight to it. Because all of that is available to you the minute you see how much of you is you and how much is what others have put upon you. Let's see if the universe will give me one, or whether I have to pick one for you. I mean, I'm sure they guide me in picking. I talked about this earlier, but I just always feel better when you hear that pop, and you know that's the one. One more time. Or it falls out. No pop. The Master Maker. Yes. This is going to take more than... sounds so terrible. But for your success, you are going to have to put in everything you got. Because what it takes to accomplish this, I'm sorry to say, maybe we should have left it simple. But what it takes to accomplish this is beyond your skill level at this point. But here's the beautiful part. Only because you haven't put everything into it. When you put all of yourself, heart and soul, and you're not afraid of how others may view you, or those things people have put onto you to make you feel insecure, when you break through all of that, when you're able to move beyond those barriers and you really get down to it and put all energy you can muster, all effort, all of you. Aries, you're the Queen of Wands. When you put all of that Queen of Wands into this, you are going to realize that you do have those skills. It requires you to move beyond anything you've seen yourself do yet. But if you do it, you have the ability to bring new beginnings and pure joy to yourself and all those around you. Whatever project you're working on, whatever relationship you're in, whatever it is that this is relating to, that's resonating within you, that you think I'm talking about, that is what it is. And it's not, let's change the way we say that. It's not beyond your skill level. It's beyond anything you've seen yourself do before. And you have those skills, and you're about to prove it to yourself if you're willing to take that challenge. Oh, you're so lucky. You got 4 cards today. This is the Singer of Intuition, and it is the song of the universe in our bones. Claim it, Aries. It's yours. And with that, I'll wish you the best for Lionsgate and the Leo new moon. Best wishes, Aries. Okay. Moving on to Taurus. What do we have for Taurus? It's Lionsgate. Oh no. Yeah, that happened with Scorpio earlier. Oh boy. Taurus. New moon in Leo. Lionsgate, please. What are the energies for Taurus? Oh, wow. Okay. Taurus, you have the Singer of Transfiguration, number 11, and the Maiden, number 14. Again, it's about pure joy, hope in new beginnings, and changing the energy and the lives of those of yourself and those around you. This is a song of the universe in our bones. What is it telling you? What have you been working towards? What have you asked the universe for? That is what this new moon is for you. Oh, goodness. I'm going to get one more. That's the pop I was talking about earlier. And this has a lot to do with friends. This is like symbiotic relationships, reciprocation, like the true essence and the true meaning of friendship. No matter how different people can be, no matter how seemingly opposite, right? It's about that connection and balance and empathy for another person. I think right now you may be a great support to someone. This is very similar to a previous reading I did. I can't remember whose it was. But unlike that one, that was about unconditional love. It was about granting grace to someone and finding that satisfaction within yourself for just making someone else's experience greater. And I think that is the case for you here as well. Although I feel like in this case, the lending of support, the lending of support, this foundation that you're building with either someone or a group of people around you, this is building a very strong friendship and a very strong foundation. It is changing this relationship or this dynamic in a way where it's like always when I'm talking about fairy cards, I'm talking about irrevocable change, grace and irrevocable change. And that's because so much of it is just explaining those things in a number of different ways. But yeah, Taurus, I really feel like you're lending support, and you are also learning in being able to lend that support. And like I said, whether it's a friend in particular, a relationship, or a family dynamic, or even a group of people, this is going to be some solid, lasting friendships or relationships. This is going to be something that for a long time to come, this person or these people will feel like home. Yeah. Okay. Taurus, that's the energy that I have for you. Wishing you all the best during this new moon in Leo and for Lionsgate. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini energy, please, for the new moon in Leo and Lionsgate. Gemini energy, please. Oh, this might be another one. Just for you. And Gemini's energy, please. What is the energy for Gemini? The Journeyman and number 15 and Titan the Self, 45. Okay, so this is really interesting. It's so funny because there's a dichotomy here, which of course there would be. Thank you, Gemini. It really is about discernment, but then also like taking a journey off of safe paths. But this really is a journey of light. So it's just such a beautiful contradiction in so many ways. You are ready to head off on a journey, or you're already on a journey. There is a pep in your step. It's like there is, I don't know, this journey, maybe because it is guided, despite the fact that it's not a road traveled before or by many, if anyone at all. There's a certain like precision and balance to this. Maybe you've been thinking about it for quite some time. Maybe you've never felt as assured as you do now, and that's why, if it hasn't already begun, it is now. It's almost as if again, the dichotomy. Heading out, not knowing what you're going to face because no one's ever been there before, or you've never been, this is not a path you've traveled before, and yet knowing somehow that it almost like knowing how it's going to end. Knowing that you will reach your goal. Knowing that, like, or maybe that's just how you're heading out. Like, you already know that it's going to be successful, or what the answers are going to be, or what you'll learn from this journey. Already knowing that without having the ability to already know that. Maybe this is, I think all I'm describing is pure manifestation and trust in the universe. That you'll end up where you intend to end up. Or where your heart has promised you. This is beautiful. Okay, super jealous of Pisces and Gemini right now. If you haven't seen it, go back and take a look at the Leo reading. It was so rough. And I should have told all Leos at that point in that reading that they should check their sun, moon, and rising. Although I don't think that reading will come as a shock to any Leo. But I wish you, Gemini, great success on this journey. You have a very self-empowered energy during this time, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for sharing your energy with us. And last but not least, Cancer. What is Cancer's energy for the new moon in Leo and Lion's Gate, please? Cancer energy, please. This is getting really messed up. Apologies. Am I screwing up the camera by doing that? Oh well. Okay. Oh, no, we're good. Cancer. Okay, you have the Dark Lady 20 and the Faerie who was kissed by the Pixies, number 21. Well, in birth years, you can now drink now, Cancer. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Okay. It's almost as if we are suppressing the love or the potential of love within us. It's like we know how to make that happen or activate that in the world around us. Right, Cancers know how to do that almost innately. Like, especially in a home setting, but it feels like we're hiding that, or we're not sharing that, or it's all living in potential right now. It's living in the realm of potential. What is it that is making us unable to share that, to bring that love and that healing love out into our surroundings and to the people that we are closest to? Because this is really telling of hopes unrealized, of potential unrealized, of quite honestly looking back in a year or so or 2 years time and wondering why we left this in potential when we knew we had the ability to do it. I think that's the question that this is the energy clearly withholding, right? I think the question is, why are we withholding? What do we gain from withholding? And maybe maybe you're looking for a reason to create from this potential. Maybe you think down the road you'll see it. Maybe someone's not worth it, and if they're not, definitely, I mean, then you have every right to be in this energy for sure. But just make sure that in a year or 2 years' time, we're not looking back. Because the most painful thing is to wonder what would have happened if we said this, or what would have happened if we did this. And when we can say that we've given or done everything that we could, we don't have regrets. inherent in this is love therapy. And maybe that's something that you needed but were not given. And maybe at this time, with this energy at play, someone needs it from you. And maybe we're withholding it. Just a thought. Cancer, thank you for sharing your energy with me on this new moon in Leo. I wish you all the best for Lion's Gates. And with that, I will say thank you to everyone. If you could, please like and subscribe. And I will see you at the next full moon. Well, with the fairy cards. I'll see you tomorrow for something else. Okay. Mahalo.